talking to Buck and Evans, and we're actually talking to Buck and Evans. This is cool, isn't it?
Literally.
Yeah. Chris, Sally Ann.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Wet, but
Wet.
good.
Excellent. It's okay, you're not covered in... Well, you are covered in a little bit of mud.
Yeah, I did a bit
Chris
of
is still working the cowboy boots, we noticed.
a bit of trudging
Yeah. Sally Ann sensible, got the wellies.
My new boots. I've got new
Welsh.
boots.
Welsh.
Yeah.
Sensibilities, I think.
I think
Where
we'd
are
be used to
yours?
it by now.
Where are your sensibilities?
My sensibilities are
You
still
got
at home.
Fucking rock star.
In the
me.
cupboard,
I'm not gonna-
yeah.
I'm not going to look like that on numpty and wellies.
Look like a numpty in cowboy boots instead.
Yeah, numpty and cowboy.
Yeah.
So you've been having quite a nice little journey recently, haven't you? Sort of, and today, obviously, you've played the encore stage at Download Festival.
Yeah. No, it was a hell of a lot of fun, and past couple of months have been really good. You know, kind of, it's often hard to kind of ascertain if people are talking about your band or any of that kind of stuff. You get a little bit close to it, but as far as we can kind of tell, it kind of seems to be going in the right direction. I think so. In that respect, a lot of fun.
Let's just cover the immediacy of coming off stage.
Yeah.
So you had all the anticipation of doing it, all the build up to it. We're playing down low, encore stage. It's not even, under the tents and the small stuff.
We thought we
And then you're coming off stage and you're going, oh.
Yeah, I think it probably is one of those situations. You like you say, you build yourself up to it, but by the time you come off, it's a bit of a whirlwind. And I think we've just been lucky enough to pick up the video of it. So we're going to take that back and have a look at it and really take it all in, because you're just rushing from one place to another. And it'll be really good to look back on it, I think, maybe in the next couple of days. Take stock.
Yeah, definitely look at it in retrospect. I think take stock for a bit of myself, really, just to kind of how it was and how it went. And it's such a kind of running it screaming kind of moment. You often kind of lose track of the bigger picture, I think. So yeah, hopefully,
30 minutes.
I was, there or thereabouts. So.
That's what, one song for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, one guitar solo.
You want guitar solo? Yeah.
But, no, it was a lot of fun. I think it's one of those things. Once it's sung in a little bit, like you said, we have no, not a lot of right to being on the stage we were on, really, if you look at a lot of the bands around us. So yeah, it's an incredible experience.
Hey,
and
so not come on. Be humble. Be humble.
Be humble.
Humble.
I'm soaked to the skin. I can't help but be humble at the moment. But yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I think one of those things. Look back on and kind of soak it in retrospectively.
So everybody's sort of loving your vibe. It's nice and fresh, nice and laid back, honest.
Yeah, I think between all four of us, quite a lot of influences coming into the band, and we're literally going with that. We're going with whatever comes across, in a rehearsal or whatever. It might start with a riff from Chris, it might start somewhere else, but it's just, we've been true to ourselves. We're bringing whatever we want to the table. We're not writing to a spec or a brief, and it's just coming out. It seems to be coming out okay at the moment as well.
I think as soon as you start to kind of pigeonhole yourself or let other people kind of pigeonhole you or compartmentalise you into what they expect you to write, it starts limiting you. And like I said, it's quite a varied kind of set of influences within the band, So yeah, just kind of soak that in and kind of absorb it and make use of it rather than trying to bury certain influences or certain elements, So yeah, and
You seem to be doing it right. Everybody seems to be getting into it. Media's picking up on it, the radio's picking up on it, the fans are picking up on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's quite bizarre for us. I guess when you just write what comes naturally to you, you just never know which way it's going to go. We had the conversation before we came up to Download, should we really stick to the rockier set, or should we just go with what we feel our strongest tracks are, and that's what we did. I think it covers everything from, it's got a very soul-y feel to it. We've got comparisons coming in, from the media really, from rather than anywhere else, of Fleetwood Mac and, lots of, such a wide reference anyway.
Especially with the Download thing, we had a chat about where you kind of question whether you want to compromise and kind of stick to the rockier stuff or kind of tailor it to Download. And there's always going to be bands here that can rock harder. There's always going to be bands that can riff heavier and sound bigger than we can and all this kind of stuff. And I think you kind of got to almost not try and hide who you are and kind of just, make almost a feature of that. And, as we stood here talking and you're someone with a voice from the bowels of hell coming up the throat. So, if we try and kind of compete in that respect, we're only going to look ridiculous. So we can only be who we are, and hopefully that came across and hopefully that went down well, So
that's a conscious decision then, to actually not rock it up as much.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, you only be trying to compete with bands who can rock that a little bit harder, kind of do the riff thing better, and we try and be song guys, and not saying that others aren't, but I think we try and kind of make it's very chord-based stuff, I guess, and, not necessarily out-and-out riffs, and, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
I think the set we did today just represents where we are now in terms of our songwriting, where we think our strengths are, and where we see the songwriting going at the moment into the future. So, yeah, it's what it is, and it seems to be being received very well at the moment.
I'm going to do a hip hop album next year. So
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, we like that. Did you know this? Is this being revealed? This is being revealed today.
exclusive. Yeah.
I love hip hop. Yeah.
She's rapping on it. So.
And your live dynamic, quite interesting because you sit at the front for the most of the set.
Yeah.
One or two songs you might, get up and
Yes,
belt it.
there are a couple of.
Not that you don't belt when you're sitting down, but
Yeah.
it's unusual to have the singer certainly centre stage
Yeah.
at the front.
Yeah.
The front person. Sitting at a keyboard and sitting down singing.
Yes, well, I guess it's just how it is, really. That's just me. I've always played keys, I've always sung. There are a couple of songs. We opened with one today where it just needs standing up and full belting it out, But yeah, I think because a lot of songs come from us, and it can very often originate from the piano as well. That's who we are. I don't know. It's a funny thing, really. I think when you think of rock bands, you do think of screaming and running around the stage and high energy, whereas a lot of our music is quite the opposite.
It's more Horlicks instead of Red Bull.
It probably is. Horlicks, yeah. I don't know if I'm on that comparison at the moment, but yeah.
Think of something a little bit sexier there, I think.
That's how
I tell you what, we're a warm brandy at the end of the night. That's what we're at. Yeah.
By the fire.
Watered down sherry.
Truth.
Yeah.
Watered down sherry.
So yeah, I think, again, it's coming back to our strengths. That's what we are.
I suppose even from my own personal view, I saw your videos from Live in the Studio, Live at Rockfield, and you get a sense, you think, okay, new band, love this sound, and he twiddles too long and stuff like that, but you think, great. And then you hear the EP and you get the disc, and so okay, you start building an impression in your mind. And then I saw you play at Birmingham, Alfie Birds. It was a nice, intimate little show, and I'm going, okay, keyboards in the front. That's interesting. And then you're sitting there playing. I go, okay, that's interesting. And so it just sort of throws you a little bit, I suppose. And I suppose that's what I'm exploring with you. So you haven't thought about getting a keyboardist in to free you up with that stage presentation dynamics?
At the moment, no. I mean, who knows in the future? I think we're just going with the flow and seeing where we're going with gigs. We haven't even finished an album yet, so I think we're still at what we feel is a very early stage, And I think that's why we're, as Chris said earlier, we were really shocked we were on stage 2 today, which is fantastic. But we still feel quite young as a band. In our journey, if you like.
You nicely mentioned the new album. I like that, or the debut album. Nice segue. Like it. Thank you. So why not? Because you're still writing it, you're still recording it. You're expecting one. So unless you're saying I'm out of here and I'm doing hip hop now, then that's fine. Let us know.
It's an exclusive.
You're an artist. But we're soon
it's one of the kind of questions we get all the time is when is the kind of debut album ready? And as Sar said, I think we kind of still feel, whether people kind of view us as such or whether it's the case or not, we kind of still feel very young as a band, and we're constantly developing and constantly writing stronger material as well. It took us a little bit of time to kind of find our feet, and like I said, it's such a varied kind of group of influences. It kind of takes a little while to kind of nail that down and kind of hone in on the sound that you want to kind of be presenting yourself as. So it's a case of wanting to kind of be, such as the industry these days, you don't get two chances to make an indelible first impression, and we could push an album out at the minute and it would fall upon the Sound of Silence, and that'd be it. That'd be your kind of one chance.
That's quite a big track, Sound of Silence.
Yeah.
My turn.
It could, kind of not flop, but it would just kind of maybe not necessarily make the impact that we would want it to, and that's it. That's your one chance to kind of make your big splash. And like I said, the state of the industry at the moment isn't necessarily geared towards anything other than make your kind of big break, and that's kind of what you run with.
So is there an inclination to produce more material that's not in an LP format and in an EP format?
I think irrespective.
You're resisting that.
I think irrespective of how the kind of industry is, I think I'm always going to be someone that wants to kind of put my name to an album. I think I love the kind of, I still love the process of buying an album, kind of falling in love with 45 minutes of what that artist or band is about. I still love that, and I think I always will. So in that respect, we're always going to be album guys. It's just a case of kind of wanting it to kind of be as good as it possibly can be, and timing it as well as it can possibly be timed. So, you know, in that respect, it's kind of remains to be seen when is the right moment, I guess. You know,
we're conscious that we still have to keep momentum as well. So we have to appear, you know, that we're performing, that we've got a mini UK tour coming up now after Download. We have released a couple of EPs and a couple of singles. But yeah, we're really conscious of time scale, and I'd like to think that by the end of the year, certainly we'll have an album.
Sounds like you're having a discussion.
I know, live on camera, yeah.
No, that's fine. I like that.
Heard it here.
A hip-hop debut album coming out.
Yeah. Just before our album. Competing for chart space.
Competing for Christmas #1.
Yeah. Like it.
Hot in
So
at number 437.
That's interesting. So do I get a sense that there's a big self-critique going on where you're pushing yourselves and actually saying, I've come up with this cool riff, but actually, actually could be better, could be, it's not quite gelling.
We're constantly doing that anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Even with songs we've written, released as EPs or whatever, we're still going back to them, and they'll probably sound quite different when they're fully produced for the album.
Stuff inevitably kind of changes over time and kind of gets better or worse. It kind of changes over time, and you just, again, it's kind of making things as good as they can possibly be. And the kind of first EP, especially for us, was kind of listening back, kind of feels very much like a kind of product of its parts rather than kind of, you know, a live cohesive band, just because of how it was recorded. You know, it was kind of layer upon layer upon layer, which ideally for us, we're a live band, we kind of thrive in that environment. So I would still want to very much keep that kind of live band kind of format and element of the recording. So stuff is constantly evolving, and we're our own harshest critics at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, you got to be able to learn how to say that was a snapshot in time.
Oh, totally.
And say that was when we recorded it. And yes, we're working it live now for the next 2 years. But you have live versions of it, you have live variations, you get to freeform it on stage and open it up to something.
Acid jazz versions.
Acid jazz. He doesn't like the genre, does he? He doesn't like it. He wants to expand.
Spreading my wings.
Getting itchy feet now, we've also got a good ear in America, in the form of Alan Niven, who gives us, feedback all the time. And I think when it comes to a critical point where we have to talk about the album, the tracks that are going on there, he's going to be very honest about that as well, and that's great to have on board with us as well. So,
cool. Excellent, guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, when it happens, we'll look forward to hearing it. Don't let it be shit, will you?
No, I know.
We'll try. Are you going to come to the album launch? You're going to come to the album launch?
Is there an album launch?
Well, we'll have to.
We're planning an album. We haven't even got an album yet.
I'll come into the studio. Where are you recording? Rockfield? Nah, it's quite nice. Close to home.
Well, we do like Rockfield.
We love Rockfield. It's a great little studio. It's
I love it. Great little studio.
Yeah.
Legendary studio. Great little. Yeah, it's got nice vibes.
I think that's what's so cool about it is they haven't really kind of tried to
play with Slash, and now I'm gonna slum it in the rain.
In the rain at Download.
All my best times are behind me. Oh God,
it's a tough life.
Can't pin down the genre.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Last time I spoke to Chris, we were looking up at naked statues hanging down from the ceiling.
We were,
in Birmingham, at the custard factory.
Yeah,
that was rather
bizarre.
bizarre.
A long time ago. Yeah, we're actually playing in Birmingham again.
Yes, of course you are.
Segue. We are
Asylum 2.
Asylum 2 on July 22nd. 22nd. So be there or be mildly disappointed.
Is that headline?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nice. So you're playing 5 dates, aren't you, or 5 or 6 dates?
Lining a couple of things up at the moment. Yeah, it's 1 or 2 left to be confirmed, but yeah, kind of Bristol, Birmingham, another London date coming up. So yeah, we're keeping our finger in. So.
Super.